Every single human on Earth cooks food, but almost no other animal does. That sounds completely normal, until you really think about it. Why are humans the only species that willingly puts food into fire? Lions never cook. Wolves never cook. Even chimpanzees don't cook. Yet humans spend hours preparing every meal. But why? Did cooking make us human? Or were humans already different before fire? Millions of years ago, humans ate almost everything raw. Raw meat, raw plants, raw insects. Survival was incredibly difficult. Every meal required enormous effort. Sometimes they found food. Sometimes they didn't. Their bodies had to work much harder than ours. Chewing alone could take hours every day. Imagine spending half your day just chewing. That's exactly how early humans lived. Then one discovery changed everything forever. Fire didn't just keep humans warm. It completely transformed what it meant to be human. Long before stoves existed, nature accidentally created the first cooked meal. A lightning strike ignited a huge forest fire. Animals ran for their lives. But not every animal escaped. After the fire ended, something completely unexpected remained. The meat smelled completely different. It looked softer. It tasted better. And it was much easier to chew. For the first time, eating required much less effort. That tiny difference changed human evolution forever. Cooking unlocked more energy from every bite. The body no longer had to fight raw food. Digestion became much easier. More energy reached the brain. Bigger brains slowly began to evolve. Better brains created better ideas. Better ideas improved survival. Families gathered around the fire every night. They shared food. They shared stories. They learned from one another. Fire became more than heat. It became the center of human life. But one mystery still remains. If cooking is so powerful, why didn't other animals do it too? At first, scientists thought animals simply weren't intelligent enough to cook. But that explanation wasn't entirely true. Chimpanzees are incredibly smart. They make tools. They solve problems. They even plan ahead. Yet they never build a campfire. The reason isn't intelligence. It's control. Fire is dangerous. One mistake could destroy everything. Humans slowly learned to protect fire. They carried burning embers wherever they traveled. Losing fire could mean losing survival. Fire became humanity's greatest tool. It scared away dangerous predators. It kept families warm during freezing nights. It made food safer to eat. Harmful bacteria couldn't survive the heat. Fewer people became sick. More children survived. Human populations slowly began to grow. Fire wasn't just changing meals. It was changing the future of our entire species. And that was only the beginning of humanity's greatest invention. Cooking didn't just change our food. It completely changed our brains. Raw food requires enormous energy to digest. Cooked food is much easier to process. That extra energy had somewhere new to go. It fueled the growing human brain. Bigger brains meant better memory, better planning, better communication, better teamwork. Soon, humans hunted more successfully than ever before. They wasted less energy. They survived longer. Children grew stronger. Communities became larger. Larger communities shared more knowledge. New inventions appeared faster. Civilization slowly began to take shape. None of it would have happened without cooking. Fire gave humans more than warmth. It gave us time. Time to think. Time to create. Time to become human. But if cooking made humans so powerful, why hasn't evolution repeated the same story with other animals? The answer begins with one simple problem. Animals don't understand fire the way humans do. Most animals instinctively fear flames. And for good reason. Fire can destroy an entire forest in minutes. Humans learned to control that danger. That changed everything. But intelligence alone isn't enough. Animals also lack free hands. Most animals need all their limbs just to move. Humans evolved to walk on two legs. That left two hands completely free. Free hands could carry wood, build fires, and cook food. That single evolutionary advantage changed history forever. Every generation became slightly smarter, slightly healthier, and slightly more successful. Over thousands of generations, those tiny advantages became enormous. Humans spread across the planet. Fire traveled with them. Every new home began with a campfire. But cooking wasn't the only thing fire gave us. It also transformed the entire human civilization. Fire didn't just create better meals. It created civilization itself. Before fire, nights belonged to predators. Humans were forced to hide. But fire changed the balance forever. For the first time, humans owned the night. Families stayed awake much longer. They talked. They laughed. They shared stories. Knowledge passed from one generation to the next. Language became stronger. Cooperation became easier. Communities grew larger. Villages became permanent. Permanent villages led to farming. Farming created food surpluses. More food supported more people. More people built bigger societies. Bigger societies created new inventions. New inventions accelerated progress. Fire became the foundation of human progress. Without cooking, none of this would exist. One simple discovery reshaped the future of our species. But what if humans had never learned to cook at all? Imagine a world where humans never learned to cook. Every meal would still be raw. Every bite would require enormous effort. Hours would be spent chewing every single day. Less energy would reach the brain. Our brains would likely be much smaller. Thinking would become harder. Learning would take much longer. New inventions would appear far more slowly. Human progress would almost stop. Cities would never exist. There would be no farms, no factories, no schools, no modern technology. Humanity might still be living in caves. Fire shaped every chapter of our history. It changed our bodies. It changed our minds. It changed our future. Every cooked meal carries the story of human evolution. Every campfire changed the world a little more. Cooking became humanity's greatest superpower, and no other animal ever discovered that secret. But our journey with food is far from over. Today, cooking is something we barely think about, but every meal connects us to our ancient ancestors. The same fire that cooked their food eventually led to modern civilization. Every civilization began with a simple flame. Without cooking, history would look completely different. There would be no restaurants, no family dinners, no recipes passed through generations. Cooking became part of every culture on Earth. It brought families together. It created traditions. It inspired celebrations. And it shaped every generation that followed. A single discovery transformed billions of lives. Fire became the spark of humanity. And cooking became our greatest advantage. Every bite tells a story millions of years old. A story that continues every single day. Every breakfast, every lunch, every dinner exists because our ancestors mastered fire. One simple decision changed the destiny of our species forever. But one final question still remains. So, are humans really the only animals that cook? Surprisingly, not completely. Some animals have learned tiny parts of the process. Chimpanzees sometimes prefer cooked food, but they don't know how to make fire. Without fire, cooking is impossible. Humans mastered something no other species ever did. We learned to create fire. We learned to protect it. We learned to improve it. Then we built ovens, kitchens, and eventually, entire restaurants. Every step began with one small flame. That tiny flame changed the world forever. It changed what humans could eat. It changed how humans lived. It changed how humans thought. It even changed the future of our planet. All because someone, somewhere, decided to cook. One simple choice. One unforgettable discovery. One giant leap for humanity. And today, every meal reminds us of that incredible moment. But before you eat your next meal, remember where it all began. Cooking isn't just something humans do. It's one of the greatest reasons humans became who we are today. Every civilization began with a fire. Every family gathered around a meal. Every generation passed this knowledge forward. Fire became the heart of human life. And cooking became the habit that separated us from every other animal. Millions of years later, we still gather around food. We still celebrate with meals. We still tell stories while eating. That ancient tradition never disappeared. It simply evolved with us. One discovery, one flame, one cooked meal, changed human history forever. That's why every meal you eat today is connected to a decision made hundreds of thousands of years ago. A decision that made us human. And perhaps, the greatest invention in history was never the wheel. It was cooking. Because without cooking, humanity might never have existed as we know it. If you enjoyed discovering how cooking shaped humanity, subscribe for more fascinating what if and evolution stories every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.